I hear people talk all the time about how the foldable screens on the Galaxy Z Fold or the Galaxy Z Flip, they're just too fragile. I won't own one. They're going to break, they're going to crack. I've seen too many of them fail. And while I can to some degree understand that, because yes, they are slightly more fragile than your average, Victus Corning Gorilla Glass screen, in this video, we're going to kind of take a look at a couple of things and how well they've held up over time. This is my wife's Z Flip 3. She's had it since the Z Flip 3 launch, and the case that's on here has been on here since launch as well. So we're going to quickly look at how has that case held up, how has the Z Flip in general held up, and then we're installing a new one. It's the same case again, it's just a new one because it's done such a good job. We're going to install a new one. So if you want to know how does a Z Flip hold up after a full year, how does the silicone cover with ring hold up to some really heavy duty use after a year, that's what we're going to answer here in this video. Let's switch to the overhead camera here and we'll look at my wife's device, and you're going to see here that it has seen more than its fair share of abuse. Let's get in closer. You can see the silicone is peeling off of these corners, and that's happening quite a bit. This case has, I would say, it has done its job because it has taken a ton of abuse. This thing, I have seen, I have seen her drop this thing from waist height onto concrete multiple times, and you're going to see that the cover display is working just fine. And you will also see here that the inner display is absolutely pristine. There is nothing wrong with this thing at all. The only thing I've had to do is I had to replace the screen protector. It was cracked across the middle. It wasn't the screen, it was the screen protector. Peeled it off, put a new one on. Everything is right as rain, no problem at all. So after a full year of use, and she does use this thing a lot, it's pretty much pristine. Let's pop the case off and you'll be able to see how the phone itself underneath has held up. I think you can tell the case has definitely began to show some wear, which is why we are replacing it with the same case again, because we were quite pleased with how it held up. So we're just going to get another one and just roll on with some brand new components. Cake fans out there will catch the reference. How's the phone look, though? Let's get rid of some of this dust here. If you take the case off, you're pretty much going to look at this thing and think that it is a brand new phone because everything's been covered up and pretty well protected. I think that's just some stuff that's coming off as I rub it off. Yeah, that looks like that's all coming off. The hinge, there's actually a very small dent there, and there are some dents there on that corner as well, probably from some of these drops that it has experienced. But the case, what the case covers, is in really, really good shape. There around the USB port, you got some gunk buildup. We're going to kind of scrape off there as best we can. But like I said, the stuff that really matters, the screen, I mean, it's fine. It's totally perfect, totally pristine. So this kind of echoes a sentiment that I had before. I just recently traded a Z Fold 2 in towards the Z Fold 4, and my Fold 2 was same thing. It was absolutely pristine. There was nothing wrong with it. The screen protector had been replaced because it was also bubbling and just was kind of, the screen protector was kind of sticky feeling. It was just a bad screen protector. It also looked a little grainy, so I had replaced it. But as far as the physical hardware goes, the screen, everything else has been perfectly fine. And this does not mean you're going to buy a flip or a fold and it's going to last you 1, 2, 3 years with no problems, no damage to that screen. There are such a thing as variation in manufacturing. Sometimes you just get a lemon, but when you don't get a lemon, you get a phone that can be dropped onto concrete from waist height multiple times and can hold up. The hinge is still quite stiff. I mean, she uses it in laptop mode all the time. It's very strange to me, but she sets it up on a table and watches videos like this. The hinge is great. Everything feels really, really good on it. So now what we're going to do for the second part of this video is we're just going to very quickly install the same old case again, if I can get it out of this packaging, that is. I guess that's going to be the hardest part. You can see here how the color has really done a pretty good job of holding up. It's not really like bleached itself out in the sun or anything like that. It's done a pretty good job of holding up. Got these two little flaps here that cover up little bits of, it's not, I mean, it's kind of like an adhesive, but it's kind of, it doesn't really stick in the traditional sense. It's almost like grippy, more grippy than it is adhesive. And then from there, we're just gonna Pop the phone in. Pop the phone in. And I would dare say this looks like the day she bought it. I mean, that looks pretty much looks and feels. It's got that silicone grip feeling back to it. This has actually gotten stickier over time. This is a bit smoother and softer. The ring is nice. The color on the band there had definitely altered over time. But yeah, this thing looks like a brand new Z Flip 3. In fact, if you didn't see that the camera bumps were smaller, I could probably convince you that that was in fact a Z Flip 4. Guys, hopefully this is informative to those of you who may be worried about the longevity of these folding devices. I think, like I said, unless you get a lemon, they're going to hold up better than people may lead you to believe. That case also, if you're worried, maybe you're buying that same case for the Fold 4 or the Flip 4 rather. It's going to be pretty much a similar case that they've made, similar materials. Maybe you can kind of use that to approximate what case you're looking at for the Flip 4. Maybe you're looking at a Flip 3 now discounted somewhere. Hopefully this is good information for you. Don't forget to subscribe on your way out. I will see you on the next one. And until next time, and earning.